welcome back, and welcome back. Today we are going to make a Philly cheesesteak soup. We are. We're going to use these little baguettes, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with those as well. So we're going to use some beef broth, some Worcestershire sauce, or W sauce, or whatever you want to call it. We're going to use some hot sauce, any hot sauce you like. Whipping cream. That's a cup of red, yellow, and orange bell peppers, a cup of red onions, a cup of celery. That's about 1/3 of a cup of flour. We're going to use these mushrooms, black pepper, Mrs. Dash, some provolone cheese, some triple cheddar cheese, some butter, and of course, the star of the show. Get any cut of steak that you prefer. Any one will do. A T-bone will do if that's what you want to use, okay? I put it in the freezer for about 30 minutes so it'll be easier to slice. So, here is your shot of what we're going to use to make this absolutely amazing soup. Let's get cooking, you guys. Okay, I went on ahead and put that whole stick of butter in there. And now I'm going to go in with those bell peppers. I'm going to put in those onions. I'm going to put in those mushrooms. And that celery. And I'm going to let that saute all up together for about 5 minutes. I had to use my red end on my onions. You could see that I had some that were the white onion and some that were the red. I just used up what I had in a Ziploc bag. I tell you all the time, I put mine in the freezer. I slice them up when they come home. It just makes life easier. That way you don't waste as much as your good stuff. I don't like wasting food. I will figure out something to make with everything, okay? And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. Gigi's got a lot of yummy going on in this kitchen. Okay, now this is the base, and this is us getting started with getting this delicious soup to the table. This soup will take about 30 minutes, so it's about a 30-minute meal. Yes, it is. It doesn't take long for this to cook. It doesn't take long for that steak to cook. So we're going to let this go for 5 minutes. And while this is going, I'm going to move you over. And I'm going to go ahead and put that seasoning in there. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with a good tablespoon of pepper, as well as a good tablespoon of that Mrs. Dash. Okay? And you can always adjust the flavors later. Okay? So that we're just getting this baby started. And she is absolutely amazing. And if you haven't made it before, check out this recipe and try it out. Your family will love it. You will love it. Okay? So we're going to let this go for 5 minutes, stirring her every minute. And then in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to move you over and we're going to slice up that steak. I'll be back. Okay. Our veggies are still cooking. I pat her dry. I've already rinsed her off. And you just want to cut her thin, which is one of the reasons why we went on ahead and put her in the freezer. Make her easier to cut. And you can do this as thin as you want to or as thick as you want to. It's completely up to you. It's your party. Do it how you want to do it, okay? So we're just going to slice this up again. And see, Michelet, I do actually cut. I was talking to one of my YouTube friends. It's the Spicy Queen, Michelet. She said, I've never seen you cut your stuff on camera. And I said, you know what? It's because it takes more time. And I'm just trying to knock it out, get it over with. Because I do like 4 or 5 videos at a time. I do it on the weekend. I work full time. I have a husband, 3 kids. You know, life. And when I cook, a lot of times I'm cooking for 3 to 4 families at a time. So that's the reason why I have so many videos, why I've been releasing every day. Why not? Plus, I'm trying to get in that YouTube algorithm and start making some money. You know what I'm saying? So that's what she's doing. So I'm going to continue to keep slicing this whole thing up. And we're going to get it in that pot. I'll be right back. All right. At this point, I'm going to go ahead. Uh-oh. I just did a wowie. Dropped something. Oh, sorry. And then I bopped you upside the head. Okay, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and go in with that steak. Let some of those flavors get all in there. And like I said, you can slice this meat any way you want. However thin you want. And we're going to still cook this some more. So it doesn't matter if it gets all the way done at this point. Okay? because we're still going to cook her some more. We're not done with her. But you do definitely. And when you pick a piece of steak, all that marbling is a good thing. All right? That ensures that your steak is going to be good and tender. And that's what you want when you're cooking it. Okay? You want marbling. Okay? Can you see that? So I'm going to let this go. I'm going to stir that up in that juice. Let those juices and all that veggie stuff that we got going on in this pan start happening to this meat. And it doesn't take long. As you can see, it's already starting to cook. Let me pull the piece out. See? It's already starting to cook. And it doesn't take long. So we're going to go in with about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Okay? And we're just going to let this go for 2 minutes. And then I'm going to start building. 2 minutes. Give her a good zhuzh. And I'm going to give her 2 minutes. And we'll be back to do something else. I'll be right back. All right. We've been cooking for a couple of minutes. Now we're going to go in with that flour. Okay. That was 1/3 cup. And we're going to stir that in. We want that flour to get cooked in, because it's going to be our thickening agent for our soup. Feel free to use cornstarch if you want, but that's the way my mama did it, so that's the way I do it, okay? So we're going to cook that flour in there just for a couple of minutes, and I do mean just for a couple of minutes. You see how it's already thickened up? Can you see how that's thickened up? See? So we're going to let that go for a couple of minutes, just merely so that we can make sure that we don't have any floury taste in this soup. Don't want it, don't need it. So 2 minutes, and I'll be back. All right, it's been a couple of minutes, and now we're going to go in with a few more things, and then we're just going to let this baby simmer. We're going in with that beef broth. Okay, and I'm using both cans for that. You can absolutely use more. Now, when my mom made this soup, we didn't have half this much steak in it. She'd use that steak. That piece of steak could probably make 4 meals, okay? You know how it is when you're growing up and mom's got to feed several kids. I had 3 sisters. I'm the baby. And so my mom would take that piece of steak and she would make 3-4 meals out of it. And we wouldn't get this much meat in it, but it sure was good. All right. So we're going to let this simmer for about 20 minutes. But we're going to add... First I'm going to let her come to a little bit of a boil, and then I'm going to add that heavy whipping cream. So I'll be back in 5 minutes, all right? Okay, we're getting ready to let this simmer for 20 minutes. We're going to go in with that heavy whipping cream. Okay? And give that a nice zhuzh. And I'm telling you, you try this once, you will be in love with it. This is absolutely a delicious soup. Okay? And if you've noticed, I've done similar with my mushroom soup. Feel free to check that out. It's in my playlist. And then we're going to go ahead and go in with a couple of dollops. Okay, a few dollops of hot sauce. You see, my mouth is salivating. I already know what I'm getting into. And this is simply for flavor. I'm not a heat girl. I'll leave that to Miss Chalet. But you can definitely add more heat if you want to. All right. And so now we're going to let her go for 20 minutes. Let all those flavors get to know one another. Become the best of friends. And this dish will be done. And it's going to be amazing. And then I'm going to move you over and show you what I'm going to do with those baguettes. All right. 20 minutes. Let her go. Okay. With these baguettes, it's really simple, really easy. I'm just going to take a little bit of butter and put it on each one of these. Just a little bit on each one of these. And this is delicious. This is really good. I mean, I've made these right here as snacks for my family. You know, they're good for when you're having a Super Bowl party or holiday event and you've got people over. These little baguettes are perfect for that, okay? They are amazing. I put cold cuts on top of them. And you'll see what I mean here in just a little bit. And they are so delicious. I'm telling you, they are yummy. You can't go wrong. All right? And they are delicious. So I've got the oven preheating on 400, and all it takes is just long enough for this cheese to melt. She gonna get her words out today eventually. Long enough just for the cheese to melt. Okay? And that's all we're gonna do, is just let that cheese melt. And we're just gonna put a little bit of cheese on each one of these. And that's it. Just give her a little cheese. And then we're going to use these to dip into our soup. And I'm telling you, they are amazing. And I'm going to do the whole baguette, but I'm just doing half for right now. Just so I can get the video done and show you what I'm doing. Because I'll need to do another sheet to get the other ones on there. Because I don't like them too close together, because the cheese always falls over. Alright, and you can put as much cheese as you want. You can even use some of the provolone cheese and put it on here, because you know that's a real sturdy cheese. Okay, so we're just going to put those in the oven about 5 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes, depending on your oven. Okay, it doesn't need long. Like I said, we're just melting, simply just melting the cheese. And that's it. That's all we're doing. And then the rest of this cheese is going to end up in the soup. And knowing me, I'll use the whole bag. Okay, I'm going to use the whole bag. Okay, in the oven, 2 to 5 minutes, depending on your oven, on 400. And our little cheese dippers here will be done. All right, I'll be back. And that soup is still cooking. I'll be back. All right, all this yummy's been going for 20 minutes. Now here goes the finishing part that we're going to do. This is the finishing part. We're going to go in with that cheese. And I'm not going to stop there. I sliced up the provolone a little bit. Because my mom used to use shredded, but I couldn't find any. So that's going to be our shredded. Okay. I couldn't even find the cube of it. The little block. But that's okay. We'll get it in there. And so now all we have to do is let this go for just a couple of minutes. The baguettes are out the oven. Dinner is going to be served. I'll be right back with her close-up. And there she is. And there's the toast we made. See how yummy that is? Things made easy with Gigi. All day, every day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and definitely feel free to share. Everybody be blessed and stay safe. You know you're going to get to see Gigi on the next one. Take care, you guys.